Commencing transmission. Engaging disclaimers. Proxy chain initialized. WFTA-TV is now on the air.
Good morning. This is WFTA Television, commencing broadcast activities for today. WFTA broadcasts on YouTube. WFTA is owned by Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. Our programming is brought to you live via the interwebs on videotape and film. We invite you to join us for another day of broadcasting on WFTA, your YouTube toy channel.
Hey everybody, it's me, Bill, and we're here. Give me a 5x5 if I sound okay and I look okay. I know I'm kind of losing a few frames here, but as the night goes on, it may get better. Look below me, you will see a plea for help there. Super chats and super stickers and Streamlabs tips help this channel ever so much. But thank you so much. Who is here? Let me run up at the top here and say hello to Johnny Sorensen, who came in really, really early, and then George Valentine, Gilster 37. There's Motu Joneser hanging out down there. I like Salt, Susudio, OBS, good to see you. Sean Solo, good to see you. All Music Fan 88, good to see you, Jeff. Gilster 37, good to see you. Chat coming in. 5x5 says, I like Salt. Very good, sir. Thank you. There's Radical Mom. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you. And, what's going on here? My featured chat not showing up on the screen. Well, that's all right. We'll move on. There we go. And, yeah, everybody's here. Good. It looks good. There. Thank you, Studio. And I like Salt telling me it's got a good 5x5 going. Good deal. Good to see everyone here tonight. We got a little show planned for you. But first, I want to get a big shout out to my new sponsor, Pop Hayden's Magnetized Water. This stuff is great, man. Magnetized water. It's very healthy, and I've got a little commercial here. So big shout out to Pop Hayden's Magnetized Water.
Pop Hayden's original magnetized water from California is the finest and most highly magnetized water available in the marketplace today. Have you ever heard about magnetized water? Water is one of our most valuable goods. Because 80% of the human body is made up of water. Water is essential to our being and to our life and health. It is most of what we are. This water in the body is energized and structured on a quantum level by the electrical field the body generates through animal or organic magnetism. These lines of organic force encircle the body in every direction, just like the magnetic force lines you see when you sprinkle iron dust on paper and hold a magnet underneath. Even though you can't see or feel them, these lines of force are really there. They surround the magnet in a field that radiates outward in every direction. In the same way, this organic electric field surrounds the human body and structures the chemical and electrical activity firing constantly within the organism. This free-flowing but organized energy is what enables us to think and move. By drinking magnetized water, which is highly energized, the body is able to much more quickly absorb and utilize this energy from the hydration process. It is essential for the transport of substances like oxygen, nutrients, and minerals through our bodies. Today we are going to talk about the benefits of magnetized water. What is magnetized water? When we are thirsty, we fill a glass with tap water or drink some water from a plastic bottle. After all, water is water, right? But before we get to know its properties, it is important to understand how and what happens to magnetized water. If you take some water to analyze, you will notice that its molecules are disordered. This is because of the minerals. When submitted to magnetic fields, the molecules turn back into their normal state, which makes the water more beneficial to our health since it heightens the energetic balance of the body and strengthens the immune system in general. That's why magnetized water helps prevent many diseases of the human body. Did you know that more than 80% of our bodies are formed by water? We need to replenish water to eliminate toxins from the body, hydrate tissues and cells, help the kidneys facilitate blood flow, to fight bloating and boost immunity. Some of the benefits of magnetized water are: helps in nutrition and hydration of cells, aids in cell cleanse, reduces blood acidity and the excess of free radicals in the body, increases the oxygen in cells and blood, makes the hair softer, moisturizes the skin, leaving it soft and healthy, aids in the prevention of many diseases, lowers blood sugar levels, preventing diabetes, helps prevent many types of cancer, reduces the risk of osteoporosis and fractures by increasing the bone density and bone resistance, avoids premature aging, increases energy levels. According to studies published by the National Institutes of Health, USA, drinking magnetized water means more quality of life.
Drink Pop Hayden's original magnetized water from California. But please, drink responsibly.
And I hope you guys will go over to pophayden.com and get you a bottle of that magnetized water. This stuff is great, man. It's good and healthy. And it will keep you hydrated, and it will bring your body back into its magnetic state that it should be in. And I want to thank everyone for the good wishes on my wife and I's anniversary. It was actually on the 8th, but we didn't get a chance to actually celebrate it until yesterday, and that's why we didn't have a show last night. My H2O lineup when I look at the Aurora Borealis. Well, apparently you could see the Aurora Borealis all the way down here in the States and over in Ireland and places like that because of some condition in the atmosphere. I don't know what. Let's also thank all the supporters and everyone who's helped me so far. I want to give a big shout out to them. And I've got some friends of mine here who want to do that shout out for me. So here they go.
Tila, look at all the people who have generously supported this channel.
Why, yes, He-Man, there's Radical Mom, Susudio, The Briscoe 1234, Shayjan's Hammer, Nightwing, Jennifer Poe, Jamie Sanders, Rollo, I Like Salt, and Ocean Breathes Salty.
And there is Sir Clifton, Mike Fee, Gilster 37, Boba Hicks, Blue Harvest Toys, Pope, Motu Joneser, Geek Strong, B Po Man, and Mr. B.
Finally we have Radical Toys, Dipper Poe, Robert's Infinite Realms, The Melvor, figuratively speaking, A World Made of Cardboard, and Gujitron.
Thank you all so very much for your generous support of this channel.
Skeletor, look at all these amazing channel members and Patreons.
Why, yes, Evil Ian. Look, there's Susudio and Shaitan's Hammer and Mike Fee and I Like Salt and Manic Plastic Toy Shop and Screw Your Feelings.
And we have Jillster 37, Motu Joneser, Grindhead Jim, Pope, Bjorn Jorgensen, Johnny Sorensen, Sir Clifton, Gogitron, and Melvor.
And finally, there's Chris Tremblett, Radical Toys, John Westby, and Boba Hicks.
Hey, thank you all so much for your continuing support of Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures.
And I appreciate all of you who are here tonight. And we're going to begin the show by bringing Joneser in.
What's up, everybody? It's Joneser, your favorite comic book guy. So let's do this!
Hey there, as my camera reboots.
What's up?
And Johnny Sorensen.
I lost you for a second.
Yeah, that camera had to reboot there for a minute. Johnny Sorensen only drinks dehydrated water. Well, that you have to add water to that to get it back hydrated. So that's that. Oh, look at Gilster using his special emojis, and I want you guys to look at besides your names, you guys that are in green on there that are channel members. I have put up fresh new badges for you guys. So instead of just the little badges? Stars, yeah, badges. If you look beside your name, you'll see
badges.
Yeah,
we don't need no stinking badges.
Yeah, well, you get them anyway. YouTube gives us the little star badges by default. Now we have these. Hey, Rolando Flores in the house. Good to see you, man. And Johnny Sorensen, I drink salty water, says I like salt. Well, he drinks those tears, I think, from all of those salty folks that are crying all the time. And I guess we need to go ahead and get started with our little presentations for tonight. The first thing we want to get into, I think, is going to be the memes of the week. If you guys want to know, when we're hanging out in our special team chat that's only for members and Patreons over on the IG, and if you are a member or Patreon and you have an Instagram and you're not in that chat, you need to contact me at Weird Fantastic down there in the corner, Weird Fantastic Toys on Instagram, and let me know and let me get you in there. But we kind of share memes, and sometimes I don't share all the memes that I get, but I share some of them. And I also harvest the memes that members give me as well, because I'm a meme harvester. I'm drinking coffee, too much coffee. Well, coffee's good for you.
Now, Bill, did you mix that coffee with your magnetized water?
I made my coffee with magnetized water, my friend. I'm getting all of my body refreshed from this, from Pop Hayden. Pop Hayden's a genius, by the way. And he not only has this magnetized water, but he also does this miracle oil. And but this stuff is great, and it doesn't cost very much. The only problem is you can't buy it through the mail right now. They're trying to get away from that, because the last time they tried to send a shipment by mail, the mail truck got stuck on the side of the wall by a building. So we'll get into that later. But this is some great stuff though. Nightwing with a $10 super chat, wanting the superpowers. Well, you stick around to tonight, my friend. We'll get you all hooked up, my friend. We will get you all hooked up. I'm going to give you a good old heart on that one there. There we go. You're hearted. Thank you so much for that super chat there, Nightwing. And I'm trying to see, because my chat on screen is not catching up with the chat over here in the chat window. So I can't get that on the screen through this, but maybe the ching ching will come up over here in just a second, right up the corner. But thank you so much. I have sort of been talking to my friend from England for 24 years today. So you've been talking to him for 24 years. That's a long time to talk to someone. What do y'all talk about for that long a period of time?
I do not know what one would talk about for that long period of time.
I guess you just 24 years. I've been talking to my friend in England for 24 years. Oh, I heard a ching ching earlier. Yes, you did. That was when you gave me a $1.99 super sticker, Studio. Thank you so much. Slight echoes, but I blame the solar flares. Well, let me move my mic over here, and maybe that'll take care of some of that. I have reduced the speaker volume on my computer here. I'll take it down a couple more notches, and that might take care of some of that. There we go. Nightwing donated $10 through a super chat right up here above me, and took care of that. Love that Wednesday chat. Oh, thank you. That was something special, wasn't it, Joneser, when we came in on Wednesday and nobody knew it until I popped it on. Hey, Lack, Sivrak. Did you enjoy the chat Wednesday there, Joneser?
That was a little fun. I can tell you were a little fired up, and then I suppose I was a little fired up, and we may have gone a little further than we intended on some of it, but it was fun too to get your buddy Dave in there too to elaborate on his experience as well, just so we can see that we weren't the only ones.
Yeah, and stuff happens. You just gotta. It was a little therapeutic for me. I've got to admit.
Yeah. I got to admit, I had to blow off some steam, which made me feel pretty good too.
Yeah, it was worth it. It really was. There we go. Let me see if that takes care of me here for a second there. Let me see if I can get myself back on the screen here. Nightwing. What's going on, my man? Back up here. I'm trying to get my camera to come back up. It froze on me.
It's because all that magnetized water you've been drinking and messing with your camera.
Oh, it can't be the magnetized water. I wouldn't think that would have anything to do with it, but it could, I suppose. I don't know. Anyone want to play nerd games with me? What kind of nerd games are you playing there? One must ask.
I like me some nerd games. I like nerd games because I is one.
Are you a nerd?
I'm a proud nerd. Like I was nerd back before it was cool.
Okay.
So
nice.
I was never worried about what people thought of me or said of me. I did my thing.
Mm-hmm. My camera's not wanting to cooperate with me right now for some odd reason. That's okay. That's okay. I don't have to be on the screen. You don't have to see my pretty face in order for us to go over these fine memes that we picked up over the week. Let me get in here and get this started. So, the first meme, of course, is a military meme because I'm a military man. And I love going over to disgruntled vets and seeing them. This fine young soldier here, this private, sees the sergeant major. Good morning, Sergeant Major. How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is? You don't poke Sergeant Major that early in the morning, son. You just don't. Solar flares are getting you. That's probably what's happening. Solar flares done flared up my camera. That could be what it is. I reversed the polarity on my magnetic water. Well, you have to be careful how you store that magnetic water because it gets jammed up inside of it. If you guys will run over to pophayden.com, you can see Pop Hayden has a video on how to store your magnetic water so that doesn't happen to you. My grandfather, says George Valentine. Okay. And let's move on to the next meme here. This could have been the Star Wars movie. It could have been a very quick movie if he had actually turned his lightsaber on while he was looking down the barrel of it like that.
Right. Handed the most dangerous weapon in the galaxy, immediately points at face.
Yep. Moving on to the next meme here. We've all seen the new picture of what Superman's going to look like in the new Superman movie, and this is about what it amounts to. Hurry, Superman! People are dying. Lois can wait. And what does Superman say, Joneser?
Oh, god dang son of a bitch, motherfucker!
Yep,
like that.
Pretty much. Evening, Bill and Joneser and everyone in chat. Thank you, Christina. The thing is, I think what he was going for was trying to get that Alex Ross picture that we all remember of Superman just kind of, he's sitting in the chair kind of laid back, and he done had a hard day, and he's finally got a chance to sit down for a minute. Unfortunately, this is the reverse of that. He looks like he's bitching because he's got to get up and go protect Metropolis from Brainiac or something. Like, God dog, here we go again.
Yeah, I mean, imagine he saved the world a whole bunch of times, and then it just always needs resaving. Like, like he didn't even save it.
I don't know. No, really. And then I saw this one the other day. I kind of liked it. Get away from me, you rat, you carrier of disease. But I also carry presents. Aww. It's anthrax.
It's anthrax.
God damn it. Oh. Yeah. I want to be.
Well, at least it wasn't Black Death.
Yeah. I want the movie to be good. I just hope. I just have no hope at this point, says George Valentine. Well, you never know. I'm gonna give it a chance. I told everybody I was gonna give it a chance, and I will. I'll give it a chance. This sums up everything right here. This is what we were like in the 1980s, and this is what our kids are like in 2024.
The sad reality of that, Bill, is they're probably all texting each other instead of talking to each other, even though they're all right there.
It looks like they're on the TikTok.
Yeah, I see a lot of ticking and I see a lot of talking.
Mm-hmm. This one hit home to me. Before I got married, I just smashed into the back of cars because I didn't have a wife to gasp and scream when someone braked 3 miles ahead.
Yeah, I've seen this couple before, Bill. They're on TikTok. This guy does great, pro tips for husbands, which is actually quite funnily where I stole pro tips for losers from. I just revamped it.
I like Salt says, I remember when we just threw jarts at each other, all those long darts. Those were fun.
Yeah, show me someone who had those. I'll show you a kid with a hole in his foot.
Or his head, because we threw them at each other, that's for sure. Here we go. I've seen this face several times. Have you ever seen this face when you were in the store picking up toys?
Yes, and I've seen that lady's face in the mask of my wife's face. Mm-hmm. Yes, honey, buy the little toy if you must.
Mm-hmm. It happens all too frequently to us. We've seen this meme a million times, but I saw it the other day, and I just was like, yeah, that face is just so familiar. And of course, we have a dapper man of 1940 and a dapper man of 2024. And I believe Gojitron said it best. He said the 2024 dude looks as if Clark got all fucked up while changing in the phone booth. Thank you, Gojitron.
Right. Yeah, a little bit of Superman and a little bit of Clark Kent all mixed up in there.
That is amazingly stupid looking. My wife has to drag me out of the hobby store. Oh my God, Zeus. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife has to drag me out of the comic book store, so yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times now, she just knows better, and she just sits in the car and just gets on her phone and says, "Take your time."
Moving right along here to our next little meme. The McDonald's apple pies from back in the day served at the surface temperature of the planet Mercury. Are you there, Joneser?
I is there.
Oh, you took yours off the screen too, just so you could match me.
Just give me a sec here.
All right. That ain't a man, says OBS. But yes, I wish they still served these apple pies at McDonald's. These were the best apple pies. Yes, those were they were tasty lava. They certainly were, OBS. And you had to be quite strong to eat these if you got them right straight out of the fryer.
Well, I mean, we were tougher people back then, you know? I mean, it's like we didn't have little warnings on our coffee cup. Warning, it could be hot. We just drank it and burned our mouths and just dealt with it.
Yeah, and after a while, you know, you can get used to it where you don't blister the inside of your mouth when you drink that stuff and you eat those pies.
Yeah, those suckers was hot.
This is what happens when the husband comes home and you're dressing in the dark while jumping out of the window. I guess he's talking about that man in that funny outfit. Taco Bell has the best apple pies. The Taco Bell apple pies are about as close as you can get to McDonald's apple pies from back in the day.
That's, I believe, is the apple empanada. Mm-hmm. And those are very good.
Moving right along, this is me. Everyone hopes to be liked and accepted, except for me. I really don't give a shit. I'm your Huckleberry.
I love the choice of facial expression they did with this quote. It just fits it to a T.
That's Doc Holliday, man. And like I'm like Doc Holliday. I'm your Huckleberry. As a matter of fact, I'm so much of your Huckleberry. We're gonna go back to Wal-Mart tonight. Ha ha
there
ha.
We go.
You just wait. Fish Tropic, Canada. When Val Kilmer was hot, says OBS. Was he hot? I don't know, but he was pretty cool in the OK Corral movie there as Doc Holliday.
Wow. He was on a tear for a while. Val Kilmer was in a lot of great movies until he eventually started to get sick and started to back away. You know, and now he's in rough shape.
He is. I think last time I saw him was in that Top Gun sequel movie that they come out with.
Yeah. I was glad that they found a way to include him because it couldn't really be Top Gun without the Iceman.
Nope. But it was. I was pleased with how that turned out. It was a good movie. Throat cancer ain't sexy, poor bastard. You're right, Johnny Sorensen. And here we go. We had a playroom when we were growing up. It was called Outside.
Right. Go play with a stick. Dang it.
I think that's that's the hose that she's got there in her hand. They're making a nice little old mud hole to play in. That's what it looks like to me.
Right. Well, and then it doubled as a drinking fountain too. Just you have to have the water hose to get a drink out there. And then us smarter kids ran it for a little minute before we burned our mouths up.
Oh yeah, because it would be hot water coming out of it before the cold water came, or the lukewarm water, whatever it was, coming out of that tap. Now, you and I were talking about that the other day, if I'm not mistaken. It was more along the lines of, "Oh, why didn't you just go in the house and drink some water? Why'd you have to drink it out of the hose?"
It's because they wouldn't let us inside.
We were locked out of the house, fool. That's why, yeah. Be home before dark. Did your parents ever too? Mine told me to be home when the street lights came on.
Yeah, that was a lot of what we got when the street lights come on. And then they'd have to put on the news, hey, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? Because, there's a whole generation of parents that forgot they even had children. Oh, yeah, hey, we kicked them little bastards out around lunchtime. Yeah, everybody want to check and see if they're still out there somewheres.
Right. There was an inside, says George Valentine.
Right.
I was given a spoon and an old Tupperware container and play with outside, and made mud pies and mud meatballs. Hopefully you didn't eat them.
Right.
Now this is a perfect example of a piece of furniture that we all had in our homes when we were growing up. Flat screens are nice and all, but they'll never compare to the combination television, record player, radio, liquor cabinet combo extravaganza that we had when we were kids.
No, those things are special, Bill. And if you've ever had to pick one up and carry it into a house somewhere, you never forgot it. Those things weigh like a metric ton.
Yeah, they're horribly heavy, and they're back breaking. And once you get it put in place, it never moves again. I seem to remember there was something similar to this sitting in the living room with a broken tube inside of it and a black and white television set sitting on top of it. And that's what we watched.
I was just gonna say there's a family I knew that put the new TV on top of that TV because they didn't want to move the other one out.
Yeah. And let's get on here to the next one here. This was me last week when I was looking at my paycheck trying to figure out when the government worked half my shift.
Right. Yeah. What's a FICA? What is all this?
I don't know, but it's taking most of my money, and I'm getting pissed about it. A kickball in the middle of the street, car, and y'all run back out of the street real quick.
Right. Game on.
Dodgeball. You remember trying to bean somebody with a dodgeball?
I remember a lot of playing kick the can. We played kick the can in my neighborhood. We played a lot of freeze tag. We did a lot of hide and seek. Mm-hmm. Those kind of games.
Yeah,
were kind of our jam.
A lot of fun. Now this one hit home to me. Most kids were introduced to death in this movie scene, but me, on the other hand, I was introduced to death in the bottom one down there.
That was probably the most brutal death I'd seen first as a kid. But I think my first on-screen TV death that bothered me was, you remember that movie Mask that had Cher in it, that had the kid with the messed up face?
Yeah, I do.
I remember watching that quite young, and it bothered me quite a bit. Inevitably the kid, spoiler alert, he dies.
Yeah.
And I think the other one that got to me was the one that gets everybody, the old Yeller. No paw. Yeller is my dog. I'll take care of it,
Yeah, that's sad. But no, I remember this is probably the most brutal scene that I've ever seen in my life, was when Red Foreman blew away RoboCop before he became RoboCop, and it just went on and on and on.
If you go on the Big Bad Toy Store, and I was almost tempted to buy this, you can buy the action figure where they redo this scene, and they have him with his hand blown off and all the holes in him and his face screaming. And it is, if you've never seen this, it was one of the most brutal movie scenes and deaths in the history of cinema, and it is terrible as it is great.
The problem with buying that Murphy figure is you have to have this other figure here to go with it. If you don't, you can't recreate the scene properly.
Yeah, I'll have to make me a custom Clarence Boddicker. Can you fly, Bobby?
What was it? He walks in the room and dude's got the whores in there and he says whores leave or some shit.
Bitches leave.
Bitches leave. You know, we gotta go. Sorry. Bye.
Oh, he was great in that movie. You know, let me tell you something there, Sal. I don't want to pay that.
Bitches leave.
Bitches leave.
Okay, we gotta go now. That's funny.
You know, and it's funny is years later you see him as Red Foreman, and he's really just a watered down version of that dumbass.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like if Clarence Boddicker didn't turn into a cocaine kingpin and instead just knocked up some girl in the suburbs.
Oh my God. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, here we go. When someone says they're losing faith in mankind, I have to remind them there's still Cactus Jack and Dude Love to count on.
Yeah, Mick Foley is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Which one of these characters was your favorite, Bill?
Cactus
were you a fan
Jack.
of that guy? Yeah, Cactus Jack was a crazy bastard. He did stuff that those other two just didn't do. But I have to be honest, I'm probably the least... the one people would agree with the least, but I had a special place in my heart for Dude Love. And I'm not talking about the hip happy Dude Love. I'm talking when he turned heel and went after Stone Cold and he was the butt kissing corporate Vince McMahon Dude Love. That was the one I thought some of that was Mick Foley's best work. If you look back on it, he really played that part so well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Dude Love, that final run with Dude Love was pretty cool.
I mean, the heel Dude Love, that was just, you didn't expect that because he was such a goofy, lovable character. You couldn't turn him heel, and they just did it.
I wonder if that was Mick's idea or whether that was all Dookie Boy's idea.
I want to say it was Mick's idea, and he even found a way to tie in Austin to it because they had that moment where him and Terry Funk are getting beaten on, and the crowd's chanting Stone Cold or Austin, Austin, and he felt that was a knock, you know, which if you look at it through a fan's eyes, the fans were hoping for a rescue. They were hoping Austin would come out and rescue him. But Mick looked at it like, I'm getting stomped here and you chanted another man's name?
Right.
And he used it. He used it to make Dude Love turn rabid, you know?
OBS wants to know, is he still alive? Yes.
He is, and he's not in the greatest shape. He if you watch him walk, it will break your heart. It's good that he retired when he did. He probably should have retired a few matches sooner than he did it. And he probably shouldn't have done that TNA comeback that he did. He's in rough shape. He feels every bit of it, I'm sure.
Well, one of the things is when you do the kind of stunts that he did when you're in professional wrestling, that's what you get.
Well, and he knew it. Like, I've read his book cover to cover, and he had no illusions of what it was going to be like for him when he finally stepped away. He was just hoping that he could scrape together enough money for his family to live comfortably, and I believe he achieved that.
He didn't waste his money like some wrestlers do.
You know, let me tell you something about whether it's wrestling or work in life or any money. Anytime you're getting money, it's not what you make, it's what you save.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely, and I'm sure that Financial Advice Jones, or we could do a whole show about that.
Absolutely. Most of your audience wouldn't want to hear it because I'd be wiggling my finger at them, especially me. Do you really need that little toy?
Mm-hmm. And finally, I bring this monstrosity to your eyes.
Oh, the Force was not with him. Obi-Wan never told you about your father. Well, he didn't tell me about my damn sister either. Jesus.
That baby's gonna have 3 fingers and cross eyes.
And missing a hand.
Oh, flipper for a hand.
Oh, that is terrible. You know, they did kind of tease a Leia-Luke romance in the first couple movies before you knew the truth.
Well, I'm gonna do a little bit of a end run for George Lucas here. Yes, he intended for there to be a love triangle between Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Princess Leia, because originally Princess Leia was not going to be his sister. His sister was going to be a totally different character, and he was going to go off and search for her, because that's who Yoda was talking about when Yoda says there is another.
Right.
But when they were trying to wrap up Return of the Jedi and decided to have a fuzzy teddy bears instead of Wookiees on the planet Kashyyyk, and have 1 Death Star instead of 2 Death Stars to destroy, the sister and Princess Leia got combined into one character.
Right.
So that ends the slideshow, folks. So I'm going to take that off the screen there and let you guys know that that ends that part of the show. So let's get back over here. I'm going to real quick, Joneser, while you're typing away, go down here and get my my cam up and see if I can get it going back again.
Absolutely. See if we can bring him back. I summoned the powers. We got him. I didn't even need to summon the powers.
They can't hear you.
What?
Not yet. They'll hear you in just a second.
Terrible.
Now they can hear you, Joneser.
No. Well, I was summoning the powers of the Obi Kenobi to get Bill back, but apparently it didn't need me.
Oh, we appreciate that, Joneser. There was a telltale sign that they were made for each other.
Yeah, that they were arguing right away, just like any married couple.
Mm-hmm. And that was that kiss he planted on her was kind of right before they swung across that chasm.
Oh, you're talking Luke and Leia. Yeah, that she planted it on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then after they pulled him out of the snow, she practically stuck her tongue in his mouth just to tick off old Han Solo.
Yeah, that was dirty right there, in my opinion. That's some of that underhanded female stuff going on there. Oops, did I say that out loud?
You know, we got one of the greatest lines in the history of cinema, though, when they were pulling him away to be executed in the little frozen chamber or whatever, and she says, "I love you," and he just looks at her and just, I know. How freaking James Dean is that? How cool is that? That was pimp.
What's up, Screw Your Feelings in the house? Saying, just stepping in. Hello and headlocks, everyone. Good to see you there, sir. And so, the next thing that I want to get into is the people of Wal-Mart. We're going back to Wal-Mart, folks. Can't stay away from the place. It is a place of wonders, because you wonder where these people come from and where they go back to when they leave.
Well, Bill, I'll have to say I am a shopper and a frequenter of Walmart. I'm a fan of the place. I go there and I spend my money there, and I'd have to say, before we get into this bit here, if anybody's got soft little feelings, they should look at little Screw Your Feelings as a game handle or name handle there. And, maybe this may not be the time for you here, because we're about to make fun of some Walmart people.
Yeah. If you get hurty feelings over very small things, then you may need to look away. But I think that most of my viewers, if not all of my viewers, I know everyone in the chat, are strong individuals, and they will be able to handle what we're going to show now in this little musical slideshow, as we show a little glimpse of Walmart after dark.
And I'm going to make fun of these people, Bill.
Of the people, by the people, for the people. What the fuck?
Oh. He is summoning the power. I want my cheese puffs.
He's patriotic.
Cheese puffs.
He's patriotic.
Cheese puffs.
Give him that. Oh, no, this guy's not happy at all.
Yeah, this is definitely the face of I don't want my picture taken right there. But then we'd be deprived of this badass shirt he's got.
That's a badass shirt to tell the truth. Oh my God, what has she been slopping through? Look at her. Look at her feet.
Oh, did she crap herself? Jesus, is it brown around there, dude?
I think she had to wade through shit. Oh, here we go. He's hungry. What's that? A triple cheeseburger?
This guy's living his best life. He got a triple double there. You know, ketchup and barbecue. He's just living his best life.
Sexy.
Oh, dude, I can see the dimples in her ass through her shirt.
That's not a shirt. That's a dress, man. Look at that sexy dress.
Whatever that is.
All hot and ready, Jack. She's hot and ready for you. I don't know, but I just got the chill.
Yes, she is. Yeah, that is. Whew. Godlow.
Here's another one of them fat boys.
Oh my God!
Why do they all got cheeseburgers in their hand? There must be something to eat there. Look at that.
You know that Walmart was doing a cheeseburger special on aisle 4, I guess.
Her dress was torn from mercy. Oh man, look at this. She got some back titties going on there.
Well, you know, I mean, that's the wife and the wife beater. So that's
this is
special.
not CGI. This is real.
Oh yeah!
Look at that barbecue stain there by his underarm. Why are they all shirtless?
You know, because I think he wanted to protect his shirt from the mess.
That's a real picture, Lack. I guarantee
this guy's wearing a shirt. And here you go. He's got a shirt on. At least a third of them does. So I mean, that's something.
Yeah. Oh. Crack kills, folks.
Oh. There's some booty. Yeah. Whew. I don't know if people think that looks good.
I feel sorry for that shopping cart.
I think he pinched his nuts in the kid's seat there. He's just screaming.
Oh.
Oh no. I think he was reaching for the Coke and he's not a Pepsi guy and it just didn't work out.
Right.
This is terrible.
Poor thing.
Clean up, aisle 4.
Oh, I don't know. Oh. Is that a double roll or is that a package in the front?
She's got 2 pooches. That's something. You gotta lift up the one pooch to see the other pooch if you want.
Here's another one of those shirtless guys eating a burger in Walmart.
You know, I'm starting to agree with the chat here. I'm thinking that these burgers are CGI'd in or something because there's too many of these burger Walmart bags.
Now, wait a minute. Is this CGI or is this? I think this is real, and I think that diaper's full.
Oh my God!
Would you say
Satan's baby child? Yeah, look at a purse. That is something.
Oh, that's a tutu right there.
Oh, jeez. It looks like the girl from Willy Wonka when she turned blue, only this guy turned pink.
Is that guy real, Lack? He said the burger guy's not real. What are those?
I'm not so sure. What's he even got in the cart? What is all that?
I don't know. This guy here looks like he's angry.
Yeah, he don't look happy. What's that? His ankle monitor tied around his neck? What's he got there?
I guess. Oh, Grandma.
Oh, Grandma.
Oh, she
Jesus,
put her on by there in her little scooter. This whole guess says they are not people.
Wow.
No, I think that one there was real
wow.
cool. Oh, here's Bubba. Hi, y'all. I'm going to Walmart. Y'all need anything?
Redneck powers activate.
Oh my God, Daddy's little girl with her diaper on. I bet that diaper's full of shit.
Yes, she is. Little baby girl there. Ooh-wee. Got the baba and everything. The bib.
All right, and that brings us to the end of this one here. We finally got to go back to Walmart, folks, and see. Now, apparently, I've been called out. They've told me that the burger men aren't real.
You know, I'm starting to believe the burger men are not real. I was taking a closer look at some of those burgers, and they just look too good to be true, Bill. I mean, that triple double burger, that just doesn't look. I mean,
do you think they took a picture of a real fat man and added the burger into it, or the whole thing not real?
You know, I don't know. I'd like to believe it's not real, but knowing humanity the way I do, it probably is.
Welcome to the Matrix. What is real and what is AI? Will we ever know? No, we won't.
Not anymore.
Nope. That was depressing. Even worse than depressing is that we have allowed this. All those fat guys shirtless and screaming were not real. Okay. All right. Maybe not. I saw one the other day at Wal-Mart.
My hungry place. Oh.
I don't know. The toy aisles are not immune to that. I like salt. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, quite honestly, not a lot of kids in the toy aisles. A lot of guys that look like me and Bill.
Yeah, and wait till you go over to the wheels aisle, and you'll see even more special people. Have you ever run across the Hot Wheel guy in Walmart?
Yeah. Yeah, be honest with you. One time, I got to Target before it opens, and I was at the door with some guys, and this is when the Motu stuff was hot and just no longer Walmart exclusive.
Yeah.
So I was checking my local Target, and there are these two dudes, and as soon as they opened the door, these guys ran, and they're shoving each other and freaking running, and I was like, and I looked at the other guy, and he's smirking and laughing, and all four of us end up moseying over to the toy aisle, and the one dude just looks at me and he goes, I'm here for the G.I. Joe stuff, dude. I'm not going to shove you out of the way if that's what you're trying to get to, though. They're the Hot Wheel guys. And it's like these three dudes knew each other. Like, I did this like once. These people are here every day.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They probably know when the shipment comes in. You might have been there on shipment day when they put the shit out on the shelf.
What was funny, though, is me and the other dude that was chill, we just strolled over there. You could still see those guys like trying to shove each other out of the way and going through the racks at the same time and patty caking. And he walked over and pulled his 2 G.I. Joe figures he wanted, and I pulled my couple Motu figures I wanted. We looked at each other, smiled, nodded, and walked away while they were still.
Did it look like Ralphie and his little brother on Christmas Story?
It may be all grown up because these guys were in their 50s doing this. Watching them run was hilarious because they couldn't even do it. Like, it was like the battle of the most pathetic. Whoever was like the not quite as pathetic as the other guy was going to win, and neither of them were going to beat the other guy by much.
Wow. Wow.
Right past both of them. I could have bolted right past both of them, stiff-armed them both to the floor, and took the whole rack.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness.
I've been inclined to do so.
Goodness gracious. Well, yeah. It can be a mess. Now, into some toy news, I understand that the Black series for that Gold series, Black Batman and Black Whirly Bat and Black Batwing have come out on Amazon. Have you seen that yet, Jones? Or?
I did. I passed on that.
I did too, because now. In the defense of the Batman figure, the belt and the chest emblem are not gold. They're yellow, like the old Estrella Batman or the Toy Biz Batman. The Cabbage Patch Kid rush, I remember that. That was awful. That's when grandmas and moms were out there fighting each other in the aisle over them horrible dolls.
Right.
Stores here haven't restocked in years. I went to Walmart yesterday when we were out and about celebrating and going to get some good food to eat and enjoying ourselves. And There, I'm froze looking up. That's sad. There goes the phone. It'll reboot itself. There we go. I went over to 12. They've done the reset, and it's sad. Sad, I tell you. The pegs for the Motu, those planograms, they're gone. The pegs for the superpowers, planogram, gone.
Yeah, that's been the superpowers stuff is still there at my Walmart, but the Motu's been gone for like 6 months or more.
The blue Sasquatch is in the house, my friend. Good to see you there, Sasquatch. What's going on, my man? Are you into the Savage Crucible, Joneser?
I don't even know what that is. I can tell you this, I am collecting enough shit and I don't need to collect anything more.
Well, that's exactly the way I feel. Well, I'm just talking now, but apparently that was a Kickstarter and the people are starting to get their figures. And I noticed today in my feed that Pixel Dan is throwing a show up, not a live stream, but a show on Saturday mornings where he does basically what the rest of us are doing and just sit there and open up some figures and play with them on a table and show them to you. And he got his, and they sent him one extra so that he could review it as well. And I believe Grindhead Jim got in on that as well. So if you guys are into that, check out Grindhead Jim and Pixel Dan. They're showing off the figures, and apparently they look like the others that are out there, the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. I just said the word. Brick something may show up now. And what's the other one? Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, and then there's another one. What's it called, Jones? Those figures?
The Mythic Legions?
Legions, that's it. That's the ones that all the collectors are after these days. They're big money, guys. Those things cost quite a bit. I don't see how you can collect that and everything else. I'm not into that. They match up in scale with Masterverse. You can play with them in the same one. Where's my Savage World Cave Woman Barbie at?
Yeah, like I said, I collect enough things. I've been collecting the Superpowers and the Masterverse and the Origins and the Ninja Turtles and now these Mezco Dick Tracy's, and I think I'm just well spent. Marvel Legends, the X-Men. I got enough things I'm trying to buy.
I've got a few things on pre-order, but it's all superpower stuff or a little bit of this and that, but it's not anything special. Cause I've got to cut back, dude. Like we were talking about earlier, man. The economy's starting to get me. And of course, if you watch my Wednesday stream, you already know that I'm spending a little bit of money to keep my YouTube channel going in various different little places, which is where some of the money that's supposed to be going toward this new computer's got to go. If it doesn't go there, then I'm dead in the water. I got to keep the lights on here, if you understand what I mean by that.
Well, and the only reason I can afford what I'm doing and continue to buy what I'm buying is because I am selling and buying and trading, and I've worked it into a business. So I'm more or less the drug dealer that's getting his high supply for free.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did you not tell me that you found a little deal today or the other day?
I did. I found a couple little deals. I'm bidding on a pile of Motu figures, even though I just sold the last of my vintage Motu figures. Now I'm gonna have a crap pile more of them if I win the bids. Yeah, I'm always finding stuff. I've been buying comics since the late 80s. I never stopped doing that. So it's like I'm always buying, selling, trading, finding things. I just found a bunch of Spawn action figures still in the box. Some Dick Tracy action figures still in the box, which was why I bought the lot. It had 3 Dick Tracy figures in there, and the Spawn stuff was just collateral damage. Then I'll probably just sell that to pay for the ones I wanted.
Right. Jeff wants to know if I'm pre-ordering the new McFarlane 66 Alfred Bookworm, etc. I'm on the fence about Alfred because I've already bought these figures from Mattel when they came out, and those figures are better than the McFarlane figures. But there's an Alfred that I may need to get so that he can go serve Batman and Robin, some milk and cookies when they come in from fighting crime. But otherwise, no. And stay strong there, Gilster. Gilster says that you got the trap jaw screaming at me. You need to stay strong, man. If you're not into those cartoon lines, I bid it though. I put a pre-order in for the Cringer and Adam 2-pack. I've got to have that Cringer. You guys do eBay a lot. One of the channels I watched did eBay for the first time, selling some stuff, and he made $900. But after the eBay fees, he only got $200. Does that sound right to you, Joneser?
No, it does not. They're doing something wrong. eBay will fee you to death, but that seems extreme.
Lack Sivrak says new sellers lose up to 30% on fees. Is that true?
Not in my experience, but
you're not a new seller.
Does depend on the volume of what you're moving, and I do know the bigger sell the item, the bigger the fee, but my fees have not been that bad, but they're not that great either.
Your camera's off. Did you know that?
I do know that. I've got a little technical difficulty going here. You should still be able to hear me.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
It will be back. Just give me some time.
Sure. OBS says I thought that sounded extreme. How long you been on eBay? Like wants to know.
I've been on for a few years, but I've only been selling pretty consistently for this year. It's been kind of a learning curve, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Have you
just
been
trying
burned?
to figure the ropes? I'm sorry?
Have you been burned on there yet?
I have not. I have not. I've heard some horror stories. I have not had any trouble so far as a seller. As a buyer, I've had a little trouble. I had a Dick Tracy book I bought, a rather expensive one, that the binding was separated from the cover of the book. And when I contacted the seller, he said the pictures clearly show that it's not that way, which they don't. And he advised me to go, because the book was insured, and he advised me to go to the post office, see if I collect the insurance, which they felt the same way everybody felt, that it does. The pictures show everything but that binding stuck into the book. And I felt like the whole thing was a scam, but this guy seems like he'd run this gambit a few times, and he was like willing to ride this out to forever. Mm-hmm. And I finally just threw the offer out, hey, would you accept a half refund and I'll just keep the book as is? And he accepted that. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we did. But this guy was like, well, they said we could appeal, and then there's the 2 months for that, and then we could, and I'm like, dude, it's $50, how about I give you 25 and we just call it good?
Wow. Yeah.
And so I wouldn't say I got ripped off there, but I could tell that this guy had worked this, and then when I went and checked his feedback, that this was a common theme with sending a damaged thing and trying to get the insurance, and so I blocked him.
Lack wants to know if you got any new pickups. I don't, because none of my shit's come in yet. McFarlane's holding on to my crap until that damn Panic in the Sky Brainiac ship and shit comes in. There you go, you're back.
I had to hook up the charger to the phone, and then I knocked over everything in creation while I was doing that.
Oh, nice. Lack wants to know if you got any new pickups.
Yeah, some new comic book stuff and some new toys. I think I mentioned the carded Spawn figures and the Dick Tracy carded figures. As far as anything shipped from Big Bad Toy Store, I can't remember the last thing I got. I want to say it was the Superpower guys that Bill's waiting on, or not that one.
Blue Beetle and the Beetle Bug.
Yeah, the Kilowog and Jesus, Blue Beetle and Brainiac here. So I think that was the last thing that got sent to me, if I remember right.
OBS wants to know what is the basic eBay, the basics that eBay can charge. Is it 30%?
You know, I have to look. That sounds high. Yeah, I don't think it, because it's not $30 out of $100, so that doesn't sound right. Whatever it is, it always feels like more than it should be. But then at the same time, where else are you going to get that many eyes on whatever you're selling?
Right.
So you get their protections for using their platform, and you get the amount of eyes on it. And I've heard of people say, like, go to Macari or whatnot, but I've heard the fees there are just as bad, only you don't get as many eyes on it. So what's the difference?
That's because you don't have as many eyes on it. eBay's kind of like YouTube's these.
Right. Like if you go to Let's Get Ready To, which is funny, is I've made a or I'm working on making a link to all that. But I mean, back when you could link everything to the other platform, and now they frown on that. So who knows?
I have no idea, OBS, what he's on about there. It might not have been just eBay fees that got him. He might have miscalculated his shipping fees, and he may be including that.
That will get you. Yeah, or if you're shipping overseas or whatnot, that will get you. I've seen shipping bite people when they don't calculate it correctly. Or people offer free shipping, not realizing, shipping Castle Grayskull is like almost $100. Then you ship it for free and you sold it for $75. Oh no,
you lost money.
I lost money on this.
McFarlane got billed by the Huckleberries. Yeah. Thought there was one more wave. There is a wave coming after this that's going to have Booster Gold in it, but it hasn't shown up on McFarlane Toys website yet or available. It should drop at any time, but they still haven't gotten that wave before that out yet.
Right. Is Booster Gold the only new figure on that next wave?
I want to say no, but I can't remember. I don't remember what they claimed was in that wave. There was another one of those foreign overseas toy store invoices.
Oh, I remember now. It was Booster Gold, and then they had a gray Black Manta or a black Manta or whatever.
Black Manta, color. Yeah, all black instead of blue.
Which that's going to be the one I get, because I'm not going to find the other one. It's not going to happen.
Now, that's a good idea, Nightwing. I like that. He says he changed Lord Superman into Jor-El by changing the eyes and the cape black with the S on the back. It looks better, and we need Jor-El next to his son. He has his mother's eyes.
That was a smart idea. I wish I would have thought of that.
Yeah. eBay charges between 13 and 15% final value fees. They also take a fee on shipping costs unless you offer free shipping. Thank you, Gojitron. Gojitron coming through for us. If you want to know answers to questions, most of the time Gojitron got the real answer. Now, as far as
that sounds about right, just north of 10% feels about my experience.
Pros are just me. I think I'm having trouble. I don't know. I know I'm having frame issues over here. You should be able to hear me fine, but my video's dropping frames, and that's because my computer's working overtime, because I'm still using that goddamn laptop. I ain't got nearly enough money built up in the stupid savings account to get anything new. And I'm not getting the super chats anymore because, you know, I'm not begging for it. If you guys want to give it to me, you can. If you don't, you don't. I did pick up some more of those little mini brands. I got a whole nother sack full of them right here. And I got a new frozen moment, and it's the special gold edition frozen moment with the Hershey syrup in it. And it's pouring it out over the ice cream there with a cherry on top.
Nice.
So, you know, that's the only frozen moment that I've got besides that nail polish one. But, you know, I'll ask. Maybe he did the free shipping and didn't realize. That will screw you. If you don't include the shipping costs and what you're willing to take it for, free shipping ain't worth it. Not anymore.
Well, my Goji says they can take the fee off the shipping costs unless you offer free shipping. So if you try to incorporate the shipping costs into your final sale and call it free shipping to try to navigate some fee, that might be a decent strategy.
Is it shipping all that much? Well, it depends on what you're shipping, how heavy it is, how big it is, and where you're shipping it to. It's a whole lot different than it was before the coup.
And if you're offering expedited services, like if you're using priority or whatnot, like I'll tell you a trick of the pros. I'd go to the post office because you can get all those priority mailboxes for free. So you can just load up a bunch of priority mailboxes and you think, cool, I got free boxes. Well, here's the problem. You can't use that box unless you ship it priority. They will not accept it.
Yes, you can. Have you ever seen that brown paper?
Oh, yeah, you could paper it. Yeah, I've seen that.
Nightwing says, if you give me your mailing address, I'll send you the Blue Beetle and ship it to you, Bill. Well, I've already got it ordered, Nightwing, and if you want to ship it to me, that's fine. I'll be glad to give you my shipping address. Contact me at weirdfantastictoys@gmail.com and we'll work something out. But I'm not going to pay for it twice. If you want me to buy it, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not buying anything. I'm saving my money, and I've already got the thing bought. But if you want to send me one, I mean, I'll take it. You just let me know, man. Next wave rumor.
Guy Gardner, that's right.
Yeah, I need that Guy Gardner, and I need that Metamorpho. And that Fleischer Superman, I need that. And I might just need the Dark Knight Returns Batman. It looks like I'm buying all that shit, except I don't need the Black Man.
That looks like a strong wave to me.
It does. It does. Yeah, Weird Fantastic Toys, just like you see down there on my Instagram at gmail.com, Nightwing, and I'll get back with you on that. Now, I don't look at that but about once a week, but I'll make sure to look at it today or tomorrow. You do that. Hey, I'm good with that, my friend. Thank you so much. That's the kind of support I'm talking about. That support gets you on the supporter list. Got to run, friends. Got an early morning errands tomorrow. Well, you take care, Lack. Have a great stream, Bill. You take care, Lack. Good to see you tonight, man. Glad you came in. You liking that Power Star Zorro? I'm liking that Power Star Zorro, but I haven't pre-ordered him yet because, you know, I'm looking at the funds and I'm like, I know when you pre-order it, you don't have to pay till it comes, but all that seems to build up on my ass. I want that, but I want that Power Star Zorro really, really bad. I'm hoping that that they keep going with the Long Box Heroes as well. I love those things. I hope they do a Lone Ranger. Will they do a Lone Ranger, please? Please. Please. They did Zorro, they got to do a Lone Ranger, right? He's kind of right up in there with Zorro, isn't he? In my opinion.
Yeah, cowboy superhero from the old days. You know?
Well, you know, Filmation did Lone Ranger and Zorro Super Hour or whatever with Tarzan. Do Tarzan, goddammit. Do Tarzan in one of those. I'd go for that. Big time go for that. All right. Well, we've been on for about an hour and 13 minutes. And we're talking about toys right now. So that brings me to something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. And I was kind of discussing this with Joneser the other day. And a lot of people kind of wonder, maybe they wonder, Bill, what makes you collect a certain line, or what vintage toy? Why do you go after certain vintage toys over others? And let me start with you, and then I'll give my answer, Joneser. When you're looking for something to collect, what spurs you to collect it, whether it's vintage or modern?
Well, a couple things. It has to be something near and dear to my heart, something that I care about, something that means something to me. Either something from childhood or something that I've enjoyed into adulthood. Usually for me, if I can't complete a line or get at least all the figures I want of it, then I'm not going to start. So yeah, I would say this is near and dear to my heart. Affordability, room. If I got room for all that, like I didn't buy Eternia because I'm like, where would I put it? So it's like there's certain things, but I think for me, I kind of followed the same journey I followed as a kid into adulthood. When I got back into collecting, I started off with Masters of the Universe, just like I did when I was a kid. And then I went into Ninja Turtles and went into Dick Tracy and had the superpowers and the, Toy Biz. But that's really just the Marvel Legends I'm doing there. So it's like I followed the same path, which is kind of funny.
Oh yes. Say about can get a 3D printer and make your own figures. That's not going to be cost saving at all. I can guarantee you that.
No, that's expensive.
Very. That filament costs a lot of money. That 3D printer costs a lot of money. And then what happens is when you're going through the learning curve of using it, you make a bunch of trash, and that's a waste. And that's why those 3D printer guys that are making that shit charge so much for it, because to make one item, especially a big one, you have to make a lot of trash. And you can see Hebro, he'll sell the misprinted stuff for a lot less than what he sells the good stuff for, just to get some money back out of it. Let's see, what did Johnny Sorensen say? How should I display my vintage belly button lint collection? A glass jar with glitter on it. Good idea. There we go.
Not a bad idea at all.
I will tell you what my collecting journey is and why I collect what I want, and what really spurs me to get something, and what spurred me to collect when I was a kid. All right, first of all, my collecting journey has been much like yours, Joneser, going after the things that either I had or wanted as a child. I've got my Shogun Warriors, I've got my Evil Knievel's stunt cycles and figures, and I've even got Ron Space Knight. I never had him. I never had these Shogun Warriors. And I've moved on and through Motu. I got vintage Motu, and I've replaced those with Origins for a reason. The Origins are pretty much like that. Same with Superpowers. I collected Doctor Who figures because I had the Daypaul figures when they came out back in the day, but they were a poor comparison to these new ones. So I went ahead and got them because they were the figures that I always wanted to have for Doctor Who. But why would I go after a certain line over another, especially when we're talking vintage? And what makes a figure or a figure line or a toy line come back after so many years, or like Transformers never go away? I have an opinion on that as well. And I was telling Joneser about that. There used to be a figure called Hugo, the Master of Disguise. He was like a little puppet. And you could put hats on him, and you could put different disguises on his face. I think if you took everything off of him, he looks like Lex Luthor, just bald and unassuming, but you could put shit on him, and you had a little disguise kit that came with him. I don't know if you guys remember that. I don't know if you remember that, Joneser, but you can look him up on eBay and see how much he's worth. I would not want that figure. When I was a kid, I probably would have. I think I did want it, never got it. But why did I not pursue it as an adult? Well, that's a one and done toy. You get that thing, you play with it one time, and you're done with it. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to play with it with? What does it go with?
Yeah, I can't answer any of that. I'm not very familiar with the toy either, so I don't even think I know what it is.
It's a puppet. That's all it is. It's a puppet that you can put little mustaches and eyebrows and hats on. Maybe wigs. I mean, it's a one and done toy. The play pattern on that is just you play with it that one time, and as a boy child, you're not going to play with it no more after that because there's nothing to play with it with. But Masters of the Universe not only has a play pattern with it, it has a play pattern that has infinite possibilities and infinite storylines. See where I'm going with that, Jones?
I do. You know, I know you could do different adventures. I mean, Ninja Turtles and Dick Tracy kind of work the same way. You could recreate episodes of the cartoon, or you could make your own episodes or ideas or imagination and play out your own scenarios any way you want to.
And it's the same thing with superpowers. It has a built-in play pattern. And it has cartoon show to go with it that's great. Gonna get the new Doctor Who. No, I'm not. Have no desire for that. I'm done with Doctor Who. OBS. I just am. I watched the Christmas special and the one after that, and I've had it. I'm not. It's the storylines. The storylines are not compelling to me like they used to be. They're not getting me in the feels like it used to be. Not the same. Could be some Disneyization of it, but going back to toy lines that I like to collect. I'll give you another example of a toy line that I have no desire for as an adult. And I can't remember what the name of it was, but these toys would fly along on strings and shit. Oh, God, what was it? Dojatron, help me out. You get these strings, and the little man would clip onto the string, and he could go along the string, and even the vehicles could do the same thing and all that. What? I don't want that. I never wanted it when I was a kid. There was nowhere for me to play with it with or anything. The Sky Commanders. I don't want that. And I wouldn't get that. It's a hard play pattern. I remember Grindhead Jim one time popped over there on Super John when they were talking about Super John collects them. Because he collects everything vintage. Even Weebles and stuff like that. I have no desire for Weebles, but anyway, so Grindhead Jim talked about how he would spend all day in his room stringing this shit all over the damn room to play with it. And then string himself up into a corner where he couldn't get out of the damn room if he had to piss. You know, why would I as an adult want that? I'd rather have Evel Knievel. I can still take Evel Knievel outside and rev him up and jump around. And people are doing that. If you subscribe to the Evel Knievel Instagram page, every day they post a new video of somebody making their Evel Knievel stunt cycle do something crazy and fun.
There's a guy on TikTok that I follow, and all he is jumping his Evel Knievel toy in different ramps and different scenarios, and that's the whole thing. That's all it is.
Dick Tracy, episode 2 in Hamloaf. We're waiting. Part of that's my fault, and I need to do that. He's working on it. Go ahead, Jones.
I was going to say we're still building the sets. I've got. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we're in the set building stage. We got to paint yet. We got some props coming in the mail from some doll houses to finish it off and make it better. The sets from the original were destroyed when everything got moved around down here, which is unfortunate because they've got to be built again. But we're going to build back better.
Yeah, there you go. Build back better and stronger. And I have something special that Jones premiered on his channel. We're going to put it up over here as well. We'll see that in just a minute when we get into some music and fun. I've got a little bit of music and fun for you guys, and we'll play it here in a minute. And once that's over with, we'll get back and chat a little bit, and we'll see how the show goes from there. But in the meantime, yeah, we've got still a little bit of show left. But going back to toy lines, there was another line, the Centurions, if I remember. When I was a kid, I didn't want them. So why would I want them as an adult? Do you remember them things?
I had one. I can't remember. I think it was the green one. I don't know if he was the water one. And I think it was a gift that I got like at a Christmas or a birthday party that I wasn't super excited about.
Yeah.
But it was like it was okay. But it wasn't anything where I was like, I need to get the other two. I was like, I wish I didn't have this one.
Right. I don't know if those were the ones, but there was another one where they all carried these staffs that had this hologram thing on them. What was that one?
I don't remember. I remember the one that I really wanted to get into, but it was too expensive, was the Dino Riders, where they had the dinosaurs with the cybernetic parts, and they had like a giant
Visionaries,
and they had a giant brontosaurus or whatever, and I really wanted those, but they were way expensive.
Now, that brings up a good point. Thank you, Vojatron. Visionaries is what I was thinking of. Now, you remember the Dino Riders and the dinosaurs. Well, that brings me to a line of toys that came after my toy collecting time that I really desired as an adult because of the play pattern and the just utter coolness of it. First of all, I'll tell you what the line is in a second. First of all, the figures are in the same scale and have the same articulation just about except for the knee joints as Superpower. Cool vehicles and got dinosaurs. And that is Cadillacs and Dinosaurs by Tyco. The Tyco toys, I've got some of them. I've got a lot of figures still on card. I've got them off the cards. I got a big lot off of eBay one time. And there's a lot of different carded figures of the same figures. That way I could take some off the card and leave some on the card. I got Jack Tenrack's Cadillac. But here's the connection to Dino Riders. They released dinosaur figures for that line. And they repurposed the Dino Riders figures for it.
Oh, how funny.
I don't have any of the dinosaurs. All I have are the people and the Cadillac. But one of these days I'm going to get around to doing a whole episode and an actual video, not doing it on like a live or anything, but an actual video about Cadillacs and dinosaurs, which came from the comic Xenozoic Tales. Lose you, Joneser? There you go. You're back.
No, I just had a cough and I spared you.
Oh.
Sometimes there's a plan when I pop out for a second there.
There you go. I like Salt says OBS Motu knows he gets a lot of reminders.
I do. And I'm working on it. I promise you. It's going to be great when it comes out.
But hopefully that gives you a little insight into what goes through my mind when it comes to toy collecting. Do I want to collect Animal Warriors of the Kingdom? Here's the thing. Those are beautiful figures. They fit right in with Masterverse. They're not something I'm going to spend the majority. If I spent my money on them, I couldn't buy my Superpowers and I couldn't find my Motu Origins. Tyco also used those same molds for Smithsonian dinosaur lines. I did a video on you did. And if I were to buy dinosaurs for my Cadillacs and dinosaurs to hang out with, it would be those Smithsonian dinosaurs more than likely.
I remember having as a kid those generic dinosaurs that you'd probably get at like the dollar store or something, where they were just little, I don't know, just molded plastic statues of or some of them were kind of big, but I remember having a bunch of them, and I'd just play in my bedroom, and I'd have a little jungle where I'd, make cardboard trees, and I'd have like a little water spot, and
Well, we're all big old boy kids here, and like you said, whenever you come across something like that, you end up getting it. These little toys here are usually catch my eye. Because even though he's supposed to be a Tyrannosaurus Rex, he could be some sort of little old monster that He-Man could fight too.
Right. Something Beastman can send after him.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I get these every once in a while. I've thought about taking one and painting him blue and putting some of them googly eyes that you can buy that stick on and sticking them on for his eyes, and making some kind of little creative monster there for the figures. But yeah, we get those. I'm thinking I'm gonna do something similar to that to try to make the monster that He-Man fought in that first storyline in the book when he saved the sorceress.
Hairy purple beast thing.
Yeah. He may not be hairy, but he may be kind of purple and have big googly eyes and big old fangs.
Sure.
I mean, we can't have it perfect, but we can get close. Get close. Any more thoughts about that? How you decide what you're going to get, and even when it comes to new toy line?
There's really nothing new striking out on me except maybe these Mezco Dick Tracy figures, which is unfortunate because they're very cool and very expensive, and I'm pretty much on the hook. Like, if Prune Face is this much fun, I can't imagine how much fun Dick Tracy and Flat Top are going to be. And if they make like the Blank or Mumbles or the Brow or anybody like that, I'm going to be all over it.
They got you. Gojatron saying, speaking of dinosaurs, I'm still waiting on my Origins Tyrannosaurus, Turbodactyl, and Bionatops, Mattel. Well, that brings up a good point, Motu Joneser. Would you be going after those figures if they were released in the Origins line? And do you think they will?
The Dino Riders?
No. The dinosaurs from Motu Origins, the Tyrannosaurus and the Turbodactyl. And
yeah. See, by then, I think I'd have checked out and was into Ninja Turtles and was just kind of moved on. So they're not really that near and dear to me.
Same
and
here.
As a vintage collector, I was priced out. You can't get those things for less than a small fortune.
Mm-hmm.
So I really just had no interest. I guess we'd have to see. I mean, be honest with you, I'm kind of played out on Origins right now. I mean, it's kind of funny because if you go through my Masters of the Universe history, I was into the vintage, and then the Snake Man came out, and then I got tired of it, and I went on to something else. And then this 2002 cartoon came out, and they rebooted it, and then they went on the Snake Man too long, and I got tired of it and moved on to something else. And now here we are in Origins, and they went into the Snake Man too long, and I'm getting tired of it, and I'm moving on to something else.
Sounds familiar. That sounds very, very familiar. To me, I checked out in the Horde.
You checked out too soon.
Yeah, I checked out in the Horde back when I was a kid. But not on Origins. I checked out in Snake Man like you did when it came to Origins. Yeah, the Stridor Redeco should be out on Mattel Creations. I've seen the pictures of what that's supposed to look like.
For the Night Stalker.
Yeah, Night Stalker, the bad cybernetic horse.
I'll probably get that. Just
all right.
I had one as a kid.
Nightwing, if you're still with us, I'm fixing to hook you up, as well as you, Susudio. You never told me what you wanted, so I put something in here that you might like. And we're going to play a little bit of music and fun, and we'll see where we go from there when we get back from there. You ready, Joneser?
I'm always ready, my friend.
All right, let me find where I put music and fun at. There it is. All right, guys, we'll be back. Enjoy the music and fun.
Hello, I am Sheila, and this is Music and Fun on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures.
Ready? 2, 3. What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey up she rises, way hey up she rises, way hey up she rises. Early in the morning, way hey up she rises, way hey up she rises, way hey up she rises.
raise early in the morning. Way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises early in the morning.
Put him in a longboat till it's over. Put him in a longboat till it's over. Put him in a longboat till it's over. Early in the morning.
Way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises early in the morning. Way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises early in the morning.
Stick 'em in a scupper with a hose pipe on 'em. Stick 'em in the scupper with a hose pipe on 'em. Stick 'em in the scupper with a hose pipe on 'em. Early in the morning.
Way, hey, and up she rises, way, hey, and up she rises, way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning.
Give him a dose of salt and water. Give him a dose of salt and water. Give him a dose of salt and water. Early in the morning.
Way, hey, oh, way, hey, oh, way, hey, oh, early in the morning.
That's what we do with a drunken sailor. That's what we do with a drunken sailor. That's what we do with a drunken sailor. Early in the morning.
Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises early in the morning.
Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises early in the morning.
The grasslands are endless and summer sings on, and Gold Moon the princess loves a poor man's son. Her father the chieftain makes long roads between them. The grasslands are endless and summer sings on. The grasslands are waving, the sky's rim is gray. The chieftain sends river wind east and away to search for strong magic at the lip of the morning. The grasslands are waving, the sky's rim is gray. Oh, river wind, where have you gone? Oh, river wind, autumn comes on. I sit by the river and to the sunrise, but the sunrise is over the mountains alone. The grasslands are fading, the summer wind dies. He comes back, the darkness of stone in his eyes. He carries a blue staff as bright as a glacier. The grasslands are fading, the summer wind dies. The grasslands are fragile, as yellow as flame. The chieftain makes mockery of river wind's claim. but the sun rises over the mountains alone. The grassland has faded and autumn is here. The girl joins her lover, the stones whistle near. The staff flares in blue light and both of them vanish. The grasslands have faded and autumn is here. Oh, river wind, where have you gone? Oh, river wind, autumn comes on. I sit by the river and look to the sunrise, but the sunrise is over the mountains alone.
Flames are pouring from the buildings now. There's cars toppled, buildings entire, just crushed and crumbled. I'm not sure if it's safe to report from my vantage point. I really need to leave. Civil Defense has informed me that the surrounding areas are in ruin. I see some people running now. In the opinion of this reporter, if this nation, or in fact the world, ever needed heroes, that time is now. That time is now.
In the great hall of the Justice League. Of the Justice League. In the great hall of the Justice League. Of the Justice League.
Dares approach the friend zone.
It looks like a trooper has caught a prisoner.
Move forward, prisoner.
The Prince of Eternia.
You will never get away with this, Hordak.
I wouldn't be too sure of that. I'm sure you'll find the accommodations at the friend zone uncomfortable. Trooper, Make sure the prisoner is well guarded.
Lord Hordak, more protein.
She-Ra, look, he's over there.
What? Attack them!
Combat mode initiated.
Get the prince. I'll take care of the guard.
Fools! With the wave of my hand, I'll summon a creature from the likes of which you... No! Not me!
Thanks, sis. For a second there, that was a pretty tight spot.
Yes, let's get out of here before Hordak gets free.
Let me go! Fools! I'll get you for this!
Hello. I am.
Well, there we go. And I had it looping. I didn't mean to. But anyway, there we go, folks. We're back and got a chance to see Motu's new drop. And please go over to his channel and watch it over there and give him a like on that and get his channel back out of the spiral of doom. We've got to get Motu back going. And everybody
The
loves
spiral of doom, I put on it myself.
Yeah.
I hadn't put any content out in over 3 months. I mean, of course, your channel is going to sit stagnant if you don't have any material. I just kind of hit a creative slump, and yeah, it is what it is.
I understand. Burnout's real, folks. I'm experiencing it right now, to be honest with you. But we're trying new things over here, and they seem to be working out pretty well. Hordak learn, don't start some, won't be none. There you go, Gojatron. I don't know what's going on here with this. I got a little bit of echo going on here. Sorry about that, folks. But anyway,
is it me?
It might be your mic doing that to me. I don't know. Depends on the position of your mic as opposed to your speakers.
I don't know. Would it be better if I moved it over here?
Well, let's see. Did that take care of the echo?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you fine. You're not echoing. It's me. It's if your mic's picking me up. It's the same thing when you talk too loud on me. It's the other way around. It's a little better.
Same time, I think the whatever you got in there that noise cancels or whatever, it doesn't know what to do when we're both going.
Well, the thing about that is, if I were added in like you're added in, it wouldn't be there. The noise canceling would work, but I'm not. My mic's coming straight through OBS, and that's what eliminates all that latency. You know, to eliminate this entirely, folks, I would have to put Mickey Mouse ears on, and I'm just not ready to do that yet. One of these sounds okay now, says OBS. Yeah, it's all in positioning of mics and as opposed to speakers on computers. You're fine. You're fine. Every time you move,
I just wanted to hit it.
Yeah, every time you move that mic, it makes that doom 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 sound. I love watching Filmation Hordak and Skeletor battles. You know, I thought like your son about that little battle with the robot there. That was the lamest battle ever.
My son was watching that as I was editing it, and he sees the Man-at-Arms versus the Trooper, and as soon as he just one hit, wham, he's like, worst fight ever.
It's over too soon, but I think I know why it was. You guys don't understand what it's like trying to make stop motion. It takes a lot.
That's exactly what it was. That little, like, I don't even think it's a half a second or maybe 2 seconds at the most. And it was probably like 60, 70 shots just to get them to turn and whack them. And it's like, yeah, I had this big epic battle in mind where they were going to joust the block of thing and they'd go. And I was just like, you know what? This is a pain in the ass and I'm going to take it out on this robot.
Yeah, and that's what it takes sometimes, folks. You just gotta work with what you got. The sound of Joneser's Doom mic.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I took care of the little slight echo that I was hearing there whenever I would speak. Well, I don't know what to do, but I think it's about that time. We're getting really close to ending time, so I'm going to go over to the duck pond here.
Quack,
and
quack.
there they go. You and I can't hear them, but they can. The ducks are being fed as we speak. It was fun. Motu Joneser says, I like salt. Yes, indeed. I will say I tried to pick out some favorites tonight and some that wouldn't get me. So, but if you guys want to play some of this other stuff that I got, there's ways to do it. And also, if you would go in the comments and you would give me some ideas on what you would like to hear, I will certainly put them in the playlist for the next show that we do. And Susudio says that she wants to hear Stinkle. Well, that would require me to turn the ducks off and go down to the playlist. I could do that, but as we approach 12 o'clock, it would require a little more. So I'm probably going to pass unless something special happens between now and then. What are your final thoughts?
Quite honestly, I think we've kind of gone over most of it all today. I guess my final thoughts would be, what you doing tomorrow, Bill?
What am I doing tomorrow? Well, I don't have a lot to do tomorrow. I'm going to talk about my toys, and I might even pull out some stuff that I've already got. I do have 5 mini balls over here. I know you guys are getting sick of that, but look, I will open them up tomorrow and see what's in there, and maybe, just maybe, one of them will have one of these frozen moments in it, like the old ice cream here with this Hershey syrup pouring out on it. And that's about it. I mean, until I can get my new stuff coming in, there's not a lot I can show off new. I went to Wal-Mart the other day and it was pitiful. I went over to the NECA section over there and it's about gone. I don't think they're going to replenish the NECA section. Hey, Alex, been here, but been listening. Great. I'm glad you were here. And Jamie Sanders has been lurking too. Says, have a great night, everyone. You too, sweetheart. Glad you showed up along with Mike Fee. And thank you to our super chatters. Let me see if I can see over here real quick on the studio if it'll pull them up. There we go. Nightwing with a $10 super chat. I like salt with a $5 super chat, and Sue Studio with a $1.99 super sticker. Thank you guys so very much for supporting the channel tonight, and that keeps us going for another week, I guess. Mini balls are fun. Says, I like salt. I find them therapeutic personally, sitting there opening them up, throwing the trash away, and trying to see what's in there. And sometimes there's something for me to build. So, I can sit there and drive, put the night driving on, and just sit there and open up mini balls all day long. And I'm not going to do that all day long, of course, but we'll come in and do about an hour or so tomorrow and see what happens. What are you going to be doing tomorrow? That's a good question.
Well, it's Mother's Day tomorrow, so I'll probably be getting up early, getting some breakfasty items and cooking up some breakfast for my wife and, doing the old Mother's Day bit. And then I guess whatever she wants to do is what the day is.
Goji, hold on. Thought Gojitron, I'm going to send you something new for next week's show so you don't have to keep flashing your balls. I'd appreciate that. Thank you so much, Goji. And Mike says he's going to PM you on the Insta. Look, Mike, if I've ever sent you a link into Video Ninja, you can use that link. As a matter of fact, I'll put that link in there real quick when the show ends, and you can join us in there if you need to talk to us real quick. Johnny Sorensen says, you can't stop Bill from playing with his balls.
I play with myself. I play with myself all the time.
Oh, what was that old song that they used to sing? My ding-ling, my ding-ling.
Chuck Berry.
Like to play with my ding-ling.
The old Chuck Berry.
There you go. Now, one time I was swimming across Turtle Creek. Kept one hand on my ding-ling. Yeah, that's it.
Snapping turtles didn't get it.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. We'll see y'all next time on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. In the meantime, have a good journey.
Special thanks to the channel supporters. Without your help, these adventures would not be possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please hit like, subscribe, and share the video.